Hey everyone, this is Louis7, and today I am very excited because you see how blue it is in my room. Well, that is how blue I expect the skies to be in the new Gondor zone coming to LOTRO that is in beta right now, if I were actually there and it weren't nighttime. Anyway, we're going to be checking out Update 36 beta, which came as a total surprise to me. I don't know if it was actually announced beforehand that the beta would be starting now, but there we go. I now have lights and can somewhat see. But yeah, I'm really excited as I get my monitor set up here. Really excited to check this out partially because I have no idea what's actually in this beta. Besides what I was able to quickly read, but of course actually exploring it or diving much into it. I have not done that. I was basically living in a cave, not only all day, but it feels like the past week or so. So I have a lot of catching up to do, and I'm quite excited for that. But I believe we're supposed to go to, there's somebody else here, so maybe I am in the right spot. We're supposed to go to After Battle Gondor, and then, well, actually, I don't see a swift travel. Do we have to talk to one of these guys to get to it? Before the battle, threshold of the city, I think that's for wartime. Sixth circle, that would be traveling in Minas Tirith. I actually don't know. Maybe it's just open landscape here. I don't see a new map. Okay. We'll have to figure this out, but one thing I can do while we are figuring this out is, it'll take me just a second here, but I am going to, let's see, edit this. We're going to look at the LOTRO forums, and I am going to more specifically add the LOTRO forums. So there you all can see it, and I can halfway see it. Let's see. I have to manage both windows at once, which is always exciting. We might just do this a little bit differently. That's going to be really hard to see, but maybe we can look at it this way. I'll just go to the staff tracker here and try to find where I lost that. And then I think let's see, we can find it somewhere here. For update 36 feedback, well, maybe I have to we'll just go to Boror. And then there should be update 36, Boror 23. I don't think that's it. Maybe it's just this one with King's Gondor. No, this is specific for the zone. Well, so yes, they do have new landscape difficulty stuff. Let's see, I'm trying to find the original post. It might have been at like 10 or 11 a.m. Aha, here it is. Boror update 36 open. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to move this more so where I can see it. And zoom in on that here. Also going to, I guess that'll automatically maximize it for you all. We're going crazy here at the start of the stream, but that's okay. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is find out the new LOTRO forms, so much better than the old LOTRO forms, but just trying to find out where I need to go to access the, yes. Okay, so go to Minas Tirith after battle, head south through the Pelennor fields. So there used to be a spot that's impassable that is not impassable anymore. So questing would begin in this area, and it's an under construction version of the Harlon. All right, so we can head that way. There we go. Only took me like 10 minutes, it feels like, to figure that out, but we got that. I can turn that off. And while I am traveling here, did want to say hello to everybody in chat, if I can find that again. Jefferbit, Sisto Liker, Sand and Snow, Sisto Liker, so you have it there in chat. Thank you for the information. It would help if I maybe looked at that before, but you said it looks very promising and you played it. That's exciting. I don't plan to really do much with the quest, but I might poke my head in and just see what it kind of looks like. I really wish it were daytime, but it looks like we're getting a little bit lighter skies, so we're on late watches, so probably getting pre-dawn and then dawn coming up soon, so should be daytime somewhat any moment now. And another thing to do while traveling, actually, okay, I'm going to attempt to bring this back. And it totally disappeared. All right, let's try that. Nope. It looks like every time with the window capture. Oh, I'm running into stuff, aren't I? There we go. Okay, we have that, but let me navigate. So one of the big things coming in this is actually a revamp to landscape difficulty. So Standing Stone Games had talked about for a long while that they could eventually add the landscape difficulty. I think originally the plan was that it would be on the live servers, like all the regular servers. But then after I don't even know if my timeline is right here, but after like a year or two, they started to be a little bit more wishy-washy sounding about it. But now, with update 36, it sounds like that will be coming to the regular servers here, and they're reworking it. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 rework and adding it. Let me move that to the... I need like a... I don't know, more real estate space on that monitor there. So I'm actually going to move OBS. That was going to cause so much confusion for me, but it'll be for the best. And now I have chat back. But yes, they are, let's see. Y'all can still see that? Good. Okay, so they have that, but... Oh, is that the delving system, or is this the... No, this is landscape difficulty. Okay, so there's a new faction that has a reward structure called the Paths of Valor. And you can advance that by playing on higher difficulties. So one of the things that I maybe didn't so much originally like with the original like landscape difficulty system was the incentives to play it. And here you can, at least I can very easily tell that this looks new. This looks like modern LOTRO. I don't know, like for me it was very identifiable. Even not having been in this location in a long time and not knowing this is exactly where it was blocked, but it just looked like a little bit newer assets, I guess, even though it's a lot of the same stuff. It had this new look to it. But there are quests here. Pick up the crate. That sounds like one of the most exciting quests ever. So we have that one to look forward to. Won't be, again, doing all the quests. This one just talk to people, but they have level 140 landscape quests. That's actually really exciting because when was the last time that I have done new landscape content, level cap landscape content, high level landscape content for that matter? I think it's been since Gundabad launched in 2021. It's been almost, has it really? Yeah, it's been almost 2 years since we have had new landscape content for the level cap, like general level range up there. So that is really exciting for me. I, of course, with LOTRO, I don't know, I didn't really used to feel this way where like new landscape content or whatever at a level cap. I cannot do this and pet the cat at the same time, or have the cat here at the same time. So we will just pause, take in the view as it's nighttime. We can at least see the stars, I guess. And then I'll scratch the cat out and talk about this. But yeah, it's been a while since we have had landscape content for level cap characters, and I'm really excited for that. It used to be that I didn't really care to quest actually at the level cap. To me, it seemed kind of pointless, but nowadays that's where LOTRO gameplay tends to be the most exciting. And of course, it gives me an opportunity to take out the Warden revamp a little bit more properly on this character. I have done some like level 120 gameplay, but that's just kind of random junky gameplay without purpose. So having something to actually dive a little bit deeper into Warden gameplay will be exciting for this character. All right. We'll see if she stays there. I would have let her move there on her own, but I got stuff here that can be very easily spilled. I'll put it that way. But yeah, to get back to... Well, I think I'll explore the zone. It's kind of unfortunate that it is nighttime, but I really would rather explore when it's actually daytime outside. So you can kind of get a sense of what it looks like, and this is the... Oh, there's the map. We could look at that. So this is King's Gondor. Let's hide this thingy. So we have Upper Lebanon for King's Gondor. Oh, wow. This is a new style map. Umbar. Outer Gondor. This is actually really exciting. I wonder if they intend to release the... Well, we already have Cape of Belfalis, but if they intend to do a post-war version of that, but that might not make sense with that being a housing neighborhood. But it looks like we definitely have Lower Lebanon, Upper Lebanon. Doubt there's anything for Horondor, but I'm feeling like we'll probably sail from like Pelargir or something down this way. But I really like this map, how it actually blurs out the other zones that we are aware of being in the game. For Eastern Gondor, I'm not really seeing much here. From what I read, there might be some landscape updates though. It might just not show on this map. But we actually have quite a bit to check out, it looks like. That's exciting. And again, I'll definitely look at Dor and Urnil and the such, Central Gondor. I guess Western Central Gondor zones as we head that way. That's pretty neat. I was not expecting update 36 beta this soon. So this is all like, when I say feel like I've been living under a rock the past week, this is all maybe a little bit overwhelming and also really exciting. I was, before this stream, super tired. I had a power nap without sleeping because I can't actually really take naps. But yeah, that essentially rejuvenated me enough to do a stream. Now I don't feel tired at all. So Sisto, you ignore all the quests and just ran through and fought some mobs. Okay. Oh yeah, the landscape difficulty. I guess I could actually turn that on in the beta and test it out at level 140. I didn't even think about that. We'll have to do that as well. Maybe I'll start that. We'll see if there's a milestone here. At the very least, I have the Stable Master, and oh, who knows if the collections Stable Master map is updated. Yeah, probably not, because that's all Minas Tirith stuff. Because this would be the Harlon, so it doesn't look like the Stable Master's map is updated. Urza Major. Do not know them. That's a surprising name for a hobbit, though. I like it. Okay, anyway, I have this window above my head that I have been ignoring. So for the landscape difficulty system, it looks like we'll probably, can be found in major hubs and newbie zones. So again, let me see if there's a milestone here. According to the map, I'm pointing in the direction towards it, and I see it on the mini map. So let's grab that before we move on. Oh, somebody's fighting a rat. Somebody just cut the rat in half. Oh, this is the milestone. Not used to that. Okay, we got that set up, and let's go to Bree and see if we can find one of these NPCs here. And if not, we can see if we can just go to Kellendam or something and find that. But yeah, a lot of people have been wanting the landscape difficulty setting to come to the regular servers, non-legendary servers, so that will be super exciting. It's something I haven't really had time to process all that much, to be honest. There are a lot of possibilities. The first thing that I think of is my hardcore character, actually. It's something I was kind of considering, to be honest. Tomorrow I was planning to do a hardcore captain stream. I have had zero time to plan or set that up, so but what I was thinking in that stream that I was going to bring up was basically I'm at a crossroads with that character of how to proceed with the hardcore series on him. And I think actually doing it on higher landscape difficulty would solve a lot of the more or less problems I'm having. Also, that was not the landscape difficulty NPC. That was the VIP rewards. I don't see landscape difficulty guy. We can go Westbury would be my best bet from here. He could be at Southbury for all I know, but actually, we're going in circles. We're going to Southbury. There's something else to check out there too, because if I scroll this thing down, delvings are also updated. In particular, we're getting delvings added to a few more 6-man instances with, what's that, a Numenos? Let me double check something. Okay, good. Those are only tier 1. We'll get into that if we have to. I believe Great Barrow is also tier 1. Yep, okay. That's good. But delvings have been added to 6-man instances, which could be... I think that could be a bit interesting, especially for me. I'm hoping my kin will be interested in running those. They haven't wanted to run the 3-man delvings lately, and I haven't wanted to run the mission delvings lately. But I think the 6-mans could be interesting because, for me at least, Update 35 is already stale, especially the 6-man. I'm not a big fan of Sagraw. The last boss is okay, but that's like 5% of the entire dungeon, maybe even 1 or 2%. And the rest of it is, unfortunately, very boring to me. Also, I'm not seeing delving. Okay, let's see. Delving barter vendors and mission givers have been added to all of our skirmish camps. So that's who I'm looking for. We're looking for the delving person. Here they are. Delving reward vendor and missions giver. So this is... I don't know why I thought this would be something super exciting, but this is what they have for delvings. If there are any new rewards with specific for Update 36 delvings, I anticipate that they're not in yet. Can also see for some reason my delving writs didn't transfer over, which is kind of interesting. I guess because they're shared currency. And then this is the delving mission giver who has a bunch of before the shadow missions rewards. So yeah. Okay, so moving on. Oh, Prancing Pony is where the landscape difficulty guy would be here. All right. Yeah, I knew Kellendam was basically my safe bet, but I did not know Prancing Pony. We can check that out. We'll do a little bit of investigating on that. I think that would be good to know where they are in Prancing Pony, just because that's kind of where would be easier access. Hello, why contain it? You remember Shire landscape difficulty guy? Oh yeah, and Mickle delving. Yeah, they have each of the ones in like the starter areas for each of the races, and then it sounds like there might be one in the Prancing Pony as well. Who's that guy? Is the anniversary event still going on? I actually have no idea. It is in the beta, at least. See, in the Prancing Pony, though? I don't think so. I think he is right here. A very recognizable character. So, we have new names for the difficulties. We have one as Adventurous, so you can go up to... kind of think of it as landscape content starts at tier 0, and you can go up to tier 1, where it will make the game significantly more difficult when you go up to tier 1. When you go up to tier 2, it also makes the game significantly more difficult. Hey, if you go up to difficulty 9, it's the same thing, significantly more difficult. Maybe they could be a little bit more descriptive on what type of challenge you could expect, instead of all of them just being significantly more difficult. Okay, yeah, you can get the rewards if you do it from level 10. You have to keep the difficulty on from level 10 up to 50 to get that reward. I think that's a title, and same with 130. Oh, that's actually for not reducing it below difficulty 3, tier 3. And then there's a new task for Tokens of Valor. So Tokens of Valor, you get those. Okay, mobs can drop Tokens of Valor. And then this one gives you Hero's Mark, so they have this convoluted currency system and reputation to go along with it as well. Honestly, tier 7's the best difficulty, but we have to try tier 9. I mean, besides tier 7, there really is no other option to start off with. And let's see what else we have going on here. Tier 7, they can drop for up to 6 members in a fellowship. Oh, so these are actually not going to be like just distributed like normal loot. It looks like a certain amount will drop when you're doing group content, so you are encouraged, say, to push the difficulty higher if you are running in a group. So if you're running in a full fellowship, can't do quests like this in raid anymore. Or you don't get drops, I think, is the other thing in raids. That kind of killed landscape raids at some point in the past. It's something I just haven't thought about in a while. But yeah, tier 7 plus, you can get the drops for 6+ members, and then drop rate increases somewhat with higher difficulties. Okay, and then barter rewards will include, oh, we can actually look at that. Barter rewards currently include cosmetics, which kind of makes sense, but it sounds like they might add some morale and power potions as well as a small set of reputation accelerators. I like the rep accelerators. Maybe virtue XP accelerators would be good as well. And then 8 new epic variations of familiar emotes. Oh, these are those. It looks like they don't have any of the other rewards in yet, at least that I am seeing. It's entirely possible that I'm missing something. Okay, one more week for... or the 11th, maybe, is when the anniversary ends. I have no idea, to be honest. Although it seems like Thursday morning would be a random end time. Okay, it looks like it's starting to get a little bit brighter outside, and I think we covered everything that I need to here, hopefully. I could make my character a little bit more OP, but I don't know if I want to spend the time to do that, but we'll try tier 9 landscape difficulty with the new system and placeholder. Nice. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Also, I can, let me fix things up here. There we go. It's possible that it ends on a Thursday. I just thought that they usually didn't, but I don't know. There's some rats there. Those rats look too intimidating, to be honest. I'll try something else. Okay, let me make sure I'm doing my local recording. There we go. And as we start getting into Foredawn, I didn't think it was called Pre-Dawn, we are going to view King's Gondor here. Kind of hard to see anything from here, but it looks like Gondor, but it's not even light outside because it's, well, nighttime. Also, I am running away from that orc. I kind of forgot about the combat. Stinging bee. That one actually sounds terrifying as well. The orc sounds like the safer thing to attempt to kill. So they got bees, they got orgs, they got wolves, orcs, of course. This looks a lot busier than what I remember this area looking like, but I'm not going to pretend that I've been here recently. I could be just thinking more so what, say, Dora and Urnell looks like. Yeah, I like reasonable difficulty would of course be better. I think I really doubt tier whatever I am on, tier 9 is going to be, why did I do never surrender? Well, maybe I need it actually. Oh, my damage is tiny. Clearly mobs take significantly less damage than they normally do when you're on this high difficulty. Surprisingly, I'm not instantly dying though. I would have expected for tier 9 to instantly die. So, gotta take those victories. I also have no idea how to play this game anymore, so please excuse that. Alright, we gotta deal with that bee. Why do I have to kill bees? Like, these are so nice, besides their whole stinging and doing damage and causing puddles. That actually wasn't too bad. I had no idea how the landscape difficulty system would translate to anything, honestly, beyond level 30-ish, I think is where I got on Treebeard, and I have not played on that difficulty system past that point. I assumed as you got higher level, you would have tools to mitigate a lot of the impacts of it, and it seems like that holds true based on those two mobs that I fought at once. This could actually be entertaining if there's a reason, besides being just fun, to run on max difficulty when the zone comes out. Alright, we can head north, which would take us to Arnak. King's Gondor version of that. I am kind of curious what this place to the south looks like. I'm, of course, that heads towards Horondor a little bit, so I'm, of course, going to be wanting to poke my head there. I don't know if they plan on how they exactly plan to integrate Umbar and Harad. As I mentioned earlier, I expect that we will be sailing on the high seas. Oh, there's a stinging bee. I expect we'll be sailing on the high seas to get there. Again, I mentioned potentially from like Pelargir or something. So I don't anticipate that we'll actually travel all the way through like the bulk of Harad and Horondor to get to Harad in the first place. That would be a little bit ridiculous. I just don't know if that's been explicitly confirmed how they plan to integrate that. Yeah, let's see. Well, if I press enough heals, even if it's the same heal over and over, I'll eventually stay safe. Also, I don't actually know. I should pay attention to those corruptions at some point. Looks like they have brigands here. Egalant Brute. I don't remember these mobs being here in the pre-war version of this area. Oh, let's see. I think I missed a gambit, but that's okay. And duplicate a gambit. Okay, maybe if I just do damage. This is actually a little bit reminiscent of what it's like playing Dordan. It's a little bit... It's of course different, but just the general difficulty is actually kind of similar to my current level 40 Warden. This is actually honestly easier than Dordan without gear. At level 40, it's maybe a little bit harder than pre-update 35. Update 35, like, nerf Dordan very, very much. But this is kind of similar to pre-Dordan nerf update. I really like this area. That's kind of why I wanted to go here. I just don't really visit this place that often. I know it looks pretty, so thought I'd see what it looks like in King's Gondor. Also, that just looks funky. Why does that look so weird? Is the water forgetting to... Is the landscape just not done there? It just looks so off to me. The trees aren't reflecting. Okay, that might be part of it. Okay, this guy has a flag. Let's see. So he has decreased incoming damage, increased outgoing damage. Oh, maybe I should remove the corruption, and that would help my damage out a little bit. Hey, placeholder again. Alright, if there's anything you all want to see landscape-wise, I am happy to head there. It's starting to become a little bit lighter outside. That's, again, kind of what I'm waiting for. If there were a good dense group of mobs, maybe in these camps there are. But if there's a good dense group of mobs, that is something I could actually, like, try to prepare for and see how well I could handle that. We actually have... This might be the spot for that. This is not the well-prepared version. Hopefully I have a bunch of mythical coins on board. Just in case I bite the dust. But I think we can handle this. We just gotta not use... Well, resolution at least has use. Well, yeah, no, this is bad. Actually. Okay, I don't think Never Surrender triggered. We're going to stun them. Because Never Surrender did trigger. I never did surrender. And then they're probably going to be immune to stuns for a little bit. So let me use Restoration, and then I'll use the fake resolution. Alright, that should be good. We'll go range the rest of the fight. See, sometimes it just takes not being a noob. William, the main thing for update 36 is the new King's Gondor zone, and for the first time since Gundabad, new high-level landscape content in LOTRO. So it's all level 140, and it is, as far as I can tell right now, Upper Lebanon, well, Lossarnak, Upper Lebanon, and Lower Lebanon. Based on the map, I don't think Dor and Ernil is in this, or Ringlow Vale. So that would be in this general location, but it's after Battle Minister. So if you go to, that's Midsummer that it takes you to, of course, because navigating this part of the game's map is quite terrible. But yeah, anyway, it's the after Battle Minister, and then there's this new section to the southwest here that appears to be 3 zones, as far as I can tell. I'm guessing it's a sort of prelude, at least I really hope it's a prelude to the Umbar story, and I hope it's not the start of the Umbar story, because that is a complaint I have had about a lot of LOTRO's recent expansions, is the expansion starts in the middle or at the end of a story with both Minas Morgul and Gundabad, instead of the expansion starting the story so they can expand on that with post-expansion updates. But many rant aside and falling through rocks aside, I would very much so look forward to it more so if it were just kind of a prelude rather than we're starting Umbar and then Umbar is like the end of the story like Gundabad and Minas Morgul. I have not been here in a long while. It looks kind of similar to me. I mean, maybe they adjusted some of the flora a little bit. I think the mobs are different, and it seems like there are more bees than I remember. But honestly, it's largely similar looking, which isn't a bad thing. It's not like there's suddenly be a bunch of new types of flowers and grass and the such just because the war is over. But I think it is interesting to pay a little bit of attention to and think about. Also, this is a lot of debuffs. Yeah, there's no reason to not use my cooldowns. I mean, they're there for a reason. Also, I pressed the wrong button, so that might mess this up, but we are maybe okay. I don't even know how much damage this, like, does Sauron still do his flame strike thing? I don't even know how much damage that does, to be honest, at this point. Like, if you can just stand in there and more or less tank it. Okay, so I think if I use Android Maneuver, this is something I have not had to do much. I've not had to maneuver this. Ooh, Ambush, you should be able to use that while moving. But look at this, Wardens have an in-combat run speed boost. I just haven't had the opportunity, maybe. That's more so the way to put it. Had the opportunity to use that all that much. Alright, we'll just finish him off. Well, Onslaught works, not what I planned. So for class changes, let me do this. There are some class changes. I don't think there's that much, though. So for class changes, there are some, changes to the crowd control removal skills. You can use racial skills on mount. Brawler has some bug fixes, it looks like, and then changes to innate strength. Oh, just fixes to consistency. And then skill bonus modified. Wait, tracer for innate strength looks like it was overall more effective than previously. Aim skill works with throwing knife for burglar. Tracery changes for champion as well. Guardian has Cardinal Essence changes. And Runekeeper has DNF cannot break target out of stealth. As fun as that sounds, that will be gone. Oh, and crafting changes. Yeah, Guardian revamp, I've talked about a lot on my channel at this point. But yeah, excited and a little bit... maybe a little bit nervous. I'm more so at this point worrying that they'll almost treat it as a little bit status quo and not really being willing to make some more major adjustments. That said, something that I have tried to stress is I actually really do like, specifically for Redline Guardian, because that's what I play. I really like the Redline Guardian gameplay. I just think it could be better. And that's why I have been so far a little bit disappointed with how little, or like in particularly what has changed and what they haven't talked about, because I think Redline Guardian gameplay is great, but the building aspect of it, I think, is one of the worst classes and specs in terms of excitement of like building out with your trait points. Anyway, with crafting, I think somebody asked about that earlier as well, that I totally maybe missed and forgot about. Looks like they have some updates here. As far as I can tell, there's nothing really pointing towards crafting revamp starting to being put in the game. Crafters can now make new tiers of selectable craft essence boxes. So for essence boxes, let me move this where y'all can see it. Would that be this one? Is that the new one? I honestly have no idea, but hey, you can make that. For people that want to craft essences that are maybe a little bit better than what there was before, I suppose that's a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to, before I forget about it, get rid of that. How much gold can you earn per hour on mob farming at level 140? I have no idea. Also, it's finally a little bit daytime, and we can actually see the landscape a little bit more. Yeah, it looks nice, but again, it's the same landscape as we had before, but I really don't want to take away from how nice it looks just because this is similar, at least to what we had before. Maybe I need to look north or continue going west. I'm actually really curious maybe what Pelargir looks like. Looks like the deed is called Reclaiming Upper Lebanon, so it sounds like the general idea of the zone will be reclaiming this area of Gondor on the way to Siege, or whatever you want to call it, Umbar. That is at least what I am getting. Hey, caveman guy. I felt like a caveman guy the past week, but glad you have, it sounds like, enjoyed the content. And he said, thanks for shining a light on an underappreciated game. Sometimes I feel like LOTRO is underappreciated, sometimes even by me, because I can complain about this game a lot, but that is because I like LOTRO. And I can be nitpicky because there are some things that make no sense to me that I maybe don't need to dislike. Yep, this is Pelargir, navigating on a war steed, just as you should be. The ships, it looks like they are currently walled in, but I expect that to change once Umbar comes out. It would actually be really neat if you could ride the ship instead of just having you more or less teleport. Like if they actually had the ship moving in the sea and you actually sailed to Umbar. They mentioned there'd be no like naval combat system, which I wouldn't expect that to be added to LOTRO. People would probably like it even less than war steeds, or mounted combat, I should specifically say. War steeds, I personally think war steeds are great. Mounted combat is kind of terrible on Warden and Runekeeper, my two most played classes, and most played classes on mounted combat by far. Its mounted combat is wonderful on Guardian. It is, in my experience, the best class for mounted combat. Given I haven't played Hunter all that much, but Guardian is kind of insanely OP on Warsteed. Also, we're having a moment to load textures here. Yeah, naval instance, like if they have a dungeon on a boat, well, we already had that on a... Wasn't that Forsaken instance? Didn't that end on a ship? But I was thinking Agroth as well. But if there's like a large boat, That could be pretty neat. Oh, hey, there are quests here. Corsair. I wonder if they're related to the not Corsair class. These look to be friendly Corsair. I mean, they're not attacking us or anything. They're just chilling here. Don't know what's up with Nasar. He's a named one. Nasar the named.
Hello there. What can I do for you?
And this place, for anybody unfamiliar with this region in LOTRO, it's of course what we had in the game before update 36, and before the update 36, this is beta, just to make clear. All of this was under the Shadow of Mordor effect, so it was really kind of dark gray, a little bit reddish skies, and you didn't really get to see the actual sky or the sun or anything. So it's a little bit of a breath of fresh air in this region. Really nice to see. I hope I'm not dropping frames and that's just my own computer lagging, but it appears that I'm dropping frames. Hopefully that clears up in a moment. But yeah, it looks really neat to me. I'm actually curious. This camp. I like this camp because it's really densely packed with Haradrim Corsairs and the such. I'm curious what they have here now. Also, it seems like there's no mobs, brigands. So brigands have taken over. That's kind of interesting. I wonder where all the Corsairs went, because it's not like they just disappeared because we had a big fight. Or maybe they did disappear because we had a big fight. Maybe they all went to the fight, even though it's not quite how it worked. But yeah, you can even see that this used to be a Haradrim area. All the Haradrim snake. I don't really know what else to call that, but Harad symbol. All right, we're on whatever. Wait, let me see if I have mithril coins. We might be taking a LOTRO store detour. It's not that I'm expecting to die, but I'm not necessarily expecting to live either. And because it's beta, for anybody that doesn't know, if you buy things on the LOTRO store in beta, it's not like a permanent thing, and it doesn't actually cost LOTRO points. All right, there we go. We're going to see how quickly I can do a death run through Hata Kabir. Oh, there are rangers. That actually, rangers is basically instant death for me. Oh, this is bad. Okay, I got one hit. Hopefully that one hit. Oh, I'm actually going to use this. I don't normally use that skill, but it is useful. I just usually prefer using the other thing. Very descriptive, I know. But this is how we counter all of the range guys. We'll just do an... Oh no! They got me. But that's why we got mithril coins. It was a fun test. I actually feel like if resolution went off, I might have had that. Now this fight's gonna be tough enough. Oh, what happened? Something popped up. I don't know if you all saw that, but ever since I installed Windows Power Toys, there are a bunch of keybinds for different things that I don't really care about. I just wanted it for one thing. Okay, I might need to... Well, I just have potions. This is beta. We'll just use everything I have. Daily would have interrupted Sniper Arrow, but that's okay. Alright, let's do some damage. Morton is both alive and dead. I think I'm more dead than alive now. But anyway, yeah, I think it's interesting, this camp. Like, I don't know if they'll explain in the story why all the brigands are here, but I'm just assuming in kind of the void of power, brigands decide to travel here and loot everything. Hopefully that is a sufficient explanation. I also really like the look of the water. I already commented on, like, the reflections just look totally messed up at this point. But the general visuals of the water are looking pretty decent here. I don't remember it looking that appealing previously. It's relatively calm at this point. as it's opening up into the larger sea. Brilliant Skarn deposit. They did rename all of the Gundabad Skarns to Brilliant Skarn, I guess, because it doesn't make sense for Gundabad Skarn to be way down here in Gondor. Inventory is messy as usual. I don't think there's been any notable loot that I have acquired from this. Although I wonder if I've been acquiring those tokens that they talked about. That's a small apple. I forget what they're called, but I've killed quite a few mobs, so it's possible that I would have gotten one of those new landscape difficulty tokens, but I'm not seeing any. I forget what they're called. They're called tokens of valor. So, yeah, no tokens of valor here. Good old chicken broth. Yeah, really. Oh, I feel like I'm repeating this so much, but I don't remember these yellow plants here, but I could just not be remembering that. Unfortunately, ugly bushes are kind of native to Condor and much of Middle Earth, so they're ever present here. Unfortunately, the war did not fix that. I might have to rage war on Gondor and Minas Tirith in hopes to remove all of the ugly bushes from the region. And then maybe we'll have after battle. After battle, I mean. This is the new, what is this place called? Linhere? Yeah, Linhere. It looks the same to me. Again, there are probably minor differences. I think they touched up, or didn't touch up. They mentioned that there are places that they have touched up to make things fresh. Oh no, they've just, yes, there are some new additions, but then some impassables have been removed, so you can explore a little bit more with the freshness of the old region. I remember going out there to quest, but again, it just looked overall a whole lot less appealing because, you know, the whole Shadow of Mordor thing. Can I make it? Nope. I wonder if, yeah, it's an invisible wall. I have actually run into that, I remember, when questing here. That was a thing. More quests. I mean, there are going to be quests scattered all about here, but there you go. So far, each of the camps we've been to, there have been quests, at least that I've paid attention to. Oh boy. This place actually is worse than Minas Tirith for navigation, right? Do we go this way? Yeah, I'm thinking it's this way. Because we turn sharp right, and then I forget if it's a bridge or if it's just a gate here. Oh, gate opens to the bridge. Okay. It's all coming back to me. It's reminding me, actually, it was this character, even though he was, looked a little bit different. But it was this character, if you all oh, that's scary. Yeah, I guess this is it. I didn't even realize, like, Dora and Ernil. I didn't quite connect that we were right next to it here, but this sort of confirms that is off limits right now. Wonder what's going on out there. But it's just bringing back all the memories of questing through this area on Gondor, on Anor, if y'all remember back then. I think that was, what was it, like 2021 maybe, that I was doing that? Like kind of April-ish, March, April, May-ish time. Now I had some long streams back then. Anyway, that seems to be the general extent of what we had. It seems like it went by so fast, I think partially just because, for me at least, I was really enjoying taking in the views. And we're on a worsted that does travel fairly fast. Again, if there's anything specific you all want to see on the landscape, or if you have been here, if you know of anything worth checking out, please do let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to wander half aimlessly and half with purpose. Basically going on the northern extent now, since we have checked out the southern extent. These rocks look different. I don't remember there being rocks that colored here. Also, these grayish silver ones look a lot shinier than I'm used to. But even these more... what color would that be? I can't even think what color that is. Kind of tannish. Yes, tan. That is the color I was thinking. Oh, that's because I was wondering why I couldn't travel here. I'm like, I want to go, but it's Dor and Ernil. Okay, I don't want to spend this entire time just swimming here. Area with a big lighthouse. It's possible. I'm not 100% sure. I also have a cat trying to smack my character. And doing so somewhat successfully. Only problem is I can't see half my skill bar right now, but otherwise the cat is being fine. Yeah, there's a cat. We can check in on the cats. There's one cat. And, wait for it, there's two cats. There she is. And second cat, well, not anymore. Right behind this cat's head. Or bandits. There are a lot of them. Hello, Lewis Strider? Yeah, I think they've updated some of the rocks. That's the big thing that I am really seeing. Some of the rock formations. They're kind of similar to some of the new ones, styles that they've used in Before the Shadow. It really does look nice, though. I don't know if I can stress this enough, but it looks nice being in clear skies in Gondor, central Gondor, maybe a little bit more specifically. Malbarth. Can't tell if this place is any different at all, to be honest. It's entirely possible that it is. I was going to say if they had like a housing neighborhood in this area, I might like that. But they actually have housing in the Cape of Belfalis, but yeah, once I thought about that part of it, I'm like, yeah, actually I probably wouldn't like it because I don't even like the current Gondor housing they have. Not that it's particularly bad, but it's not got to me to get a house there, I'll put it that way. That said, I absolutely missed our Ken Island Tol Fui, I think it was called. Or maybe it was Tol Falthui, I forget. But I really missed our Ken Island. No offense to my kin and their choice to get an Erebor house, but I dislike that one a whole lot, and I really miss our old Ken Island. New castle. There's a new castle. Where is that? Oh. The M thing. Also, what's up with Burroughs Khazar? Has that always been in game? That looks like a Dwarven. I mean, it's got... Wait, it's Furuk Zahar. Still, it sounds Dwarvish to me a little bit. And it looks like it's in the mountain. It might be dwarves, White Mountain dwarves there. Anyway, here's Ost Engelbed, where you can jump off and get a deed. In Moria? Like where you can jump down the well? Again, this city, a lot of the cities look similar, but I don't know, today's a good day for exploration, so hopefully you'll enjoy just seeing bits of the landscape. I actually feel like, I haven't been able to do this with many of the new LOTRO zones, but I really want to get back to doing that kind of, what did I call it? I did Journey Through Wildwood, Journey Through the Angle of Mythathel, and doing that type of video again. Don't worry, I'm not running away like a chicken. I'm running away like a kiter? I don't know. Well, this is working out quite terribly. I should just go in melee. Oh, apparently I am in melee. Alright then. Also, I can use this ability that I still forget about and really pile on the damage. Alright, got all that damage, got restoration. We're all set. Except he has the eye, which this one gives a minus 75% incoming damage. Well, let's reverse that. Also, I want to stand in the square and see what happens. 268k damage, that's not that bad. Man, where the king is at. Like in Minas Tirith? If you jump off the, whatever this thing is called. I think there's a deed if you're chicken and do that. I don't know if there's a deed for a regular character to do that. There might be. But that's the only thing I can think of that's like in this region and where the king, Aragorn himself is. Or whatever name he goes by, Elisar. This water, this river, I really like this one. This might be one of my favorite just random spots so far. Which might seem odd, but I don't know, I like it. One thing I have noticed is no mounted combat mobs. That is actually a striking difference compared to normal Central Gondor, which is actually really pleasant. Took me a while to really put that together. Okay, so does anybody know if this area is actually in-game? Like in the I guess I can check the map. But maybe that's something we could explore. But if anybody does know, in the meantime, if this is an area you can actually go in the game and pre-battle, say, Central Gondor. Looks pretty. Wood Sniper. That is a very fitting name for them. Notably, none of the Guardian, Warmaster, or Hunter revamps are in the beta. I realized I've already, of course, gone over the class changes, which are not much. But that is something just to confirm. I'm curious how much damage Sniper Arrow does. Oh, that one's the bleed. Okay. Okay, we'll actually do something crazy and fight this mob. Also, maybe stay a little bit away from the links. If this were like a character that we're actually progressing through here... Wait, what am I using? This actually works. That cash out is not great, but it's kind of not terrible. It just costs a lot. But what was I saying? I forget. Oh yeah, so as far as just like fighting mobs at this point, the novelty of being on tier 9 difficulty for the purposes of the beta has started to wear off. Yeah, crashing into rocks. That's what I get for peeking over, seeing new Discord messages from my kid about the beta. I'm like, oh. We are very much so approaching the White Mountains, and this, again, makes me think Dwarven, especially with the rails there. I also wonder if they're intending to add any new group content in this. It seems unlikely considering Update 35 was like all group content. I'm guessing Update 36 is going to be all landscape content. But I wouldn't mind seeing like they are updating the delving system as well. But, you know, seeing a 6-man or something could be not a bad thing. Partially just because just to bring up again. Not the biggest fan of Sagroth. The view from here is certainly not bad, but I'm trying to get a better angle because these two trees weren't right here. That would be the spot, but this just sets the angle off just enough to not be ideal. Scaling the group warbands. That might not be a terrible thing. At first I wasn't the biggest fan of warbands, but if they did it as a non-mounted combat thing, and almost as a roving threat type thing, I could actually be into that. Alright, I'm going to make my milestone here because I'm about to do danger stuff. So we can go right back here if we need to. I also guess I could have taken the swift travel. But alright, let's see what we can do here. Yep. That parkour did not last long. Very fitting. I mean, I don't know where else I should respawn besides the Morgul Vale. I actually miss Minas Morgul, to be honest. It's kind of nice to be back here. It's got the sort of Shadow of Mordor sort of effect going on in the sky. It's a little bit different because this is after battle, but it's of course still Minas Morgul. My milestone is on cooldown. Isn't there a way to spend Mythal coins and reset that? Well, maybe not. Okay, I can get back though. We can do it. Don't worry. We just have to... This one? I really should have brought a straw. It is so much easier to drink while streaming with a straw. It might sound silly, but those are the types of things that bother me. No, I can't even talk. But bother me while I am streaming. Shouldn't need floating names on anymore. But this is regular after battle Gondor that we already have in game. This is the Pelennor Fields. It is basically right after battle. There's been zero cleanup, still a bunch of siege weapons and corpses and all that such scattered about. Very dead and destroyed. Not the prettiest, but outside of that, and if you just look up, looks fairly nice. Also, I should be getting more screenshots. It's something I don't think about too much, but sometimes having screenshots is actually nice. Not necessarily in this specific area, but now at least have some somewhat relevant screenshots that are more updated than whatever random ones I pulled out from like a year ago for this stream's thumbnail. Yeah, I think I'm going to double check the patch notes while we travel here. I can bring that back up again, but just to double check that there's nothing big that we are missing. Talked about landscape difficulty, some of the new rewards with that. And that might change some things with how I'm going to be doing the hardcore series with the captain, as in potentially setting that off to the side for him, or I don't know. Because getting the titles would of course be one of the more interesting components of that on specifically like a hardcore character. Okay, now that we're here in Harland, just double check. Oh, there are some Edmores and PvMP updates. I think they've added Siege, that whole thing, Siege mechanics, which sounds kind of scary, but hopefully people that play PvMP like it. That is, it's kind of weird as somebody who obviously hasn't played PvMP in like probably 10 years or something like that. That is a type of thing that actually makes me more hesitant to go there. So it's not that it actively dissuades me from going to the Edmores, but it makes me less likely to go there. Anyway, that's kind of semantics. I actually didn't really see this. Let's see. Just missions, updates, different things like that. Bug fixes. Oh, they have changed some delving rewards. So it looks like tier 7 through 9 give... That's what I'm concerned about. Because tier 7 is fairly easy, at least for my character, to run through solo. With the mission specifically. And in the 3-mans that I have done, tier 7 was completely fine. Oops. Uh-oh. Just gotta be careful that my cat doesn't send anything there. Okay, where were we? Wait, what happened? Oh wow, there's actually a lot more than I thought in these patch notes. That's why I'm getting confused. And no, I don't want to do that. Let me just refresh. We'll hopefully get rid of that. That totally made me lose my spot again, and now I have to spend hours navigating back up. It's not that bad. Okay, so Delving Tracer Archive, that mission updated. Okay, that's updated. I'm reading very quickly here, at least trying to. Okay, crafting boxes can be disenchanted for... At tier 7 and above specifically, can be disenchanted for 20 delving writs. These boxes will have a 6-hour expiration timer. Oh. So these boxes... Now actually, so I'm the type of person that would actually just save these boxes until like I feel like I need them. But this would actually prevent that with an expiration timer. But hey, now you can disenchant for 20 whole delving writs. It looks like the... armor will be disenchantable for more delving writs. I have talked about that a lot, and if anybody remembers, in my previous times talking about that, I have, okay, there we go, mentioned that I think that delving gear should be disenchantable for about 100 times more delving writs, which sounds completely ridiculous. But I honestly think that would be better. They might have to adjust drop rates because gear does drop somewhat frequently, at least tier 7 plus. So, yeah. But it's just kind of, I think, interesting how far off I would envision delving writs being optimized for disenchanting compared to what we have. But having them increase to 30 for the teal gear is at least a lot better. I still think it could be, from that point, at least 10 times higher would be nice. And I don't say that just because I want more. And then it looks like essence boxes have been added to Delving Border for Writs, and they've actually removed tier 0 essence boxes. Now you can get Morgul power potions, alright, and those can drop. Housing decorations, looks like bug fixes there. Cat is, I'm gonna have to turn sideways as the cat is pushing the mic away. and I don't really see anything of particular note here. I kind of remember one of those lines actually being released in the game already from the update that came out like a day or two ago. I wasn't completely living in a cave under a rock, because yes, I actually did remember there was a LOTRO update this week. There we go. Okay, well, let's get rid of that. Move this back. And now we can do whatever you all want on the beta. I'm still confused, Lord Yeti, to be honest, about what you wanted to see. But it looked like the last one was just to see the new area, which is here. And yes, the last real final boss of LOTRO is Piper. And the sneaky one is Lexi. She's the one that's kind of hard to see right now. That is the cat moving me on auto run now. Okay. Let's see, Blocking 1099. Sorry to take so long to get to your message, but you said you started playing LOTRO a few weeks ago and you found quite a few of my videos have helped you decide where to start. Glad they have helped you. I am on a somewhat related note. I promise I will eventually get to the 2023 updated class guide. I know I recorded that like 2 months ago or something like that, but it will be coming. Hopefully before 2024 and we have a course there. Hello, Meraki. I am doing mostly well. Hopefully I'm hiding it, but I am extremely tired right now. And maybe a little bit dizzy, but that's okay. I don't mean hiding it in a bad way, but just like, I want the stream to be energetic. And it helps me actually be energetic and less tired. I've just been super busy the past few days. But today at 5 p.m., because that was pretty much the deadline for getting this thing in, I finished most of the things that I have that makes for a busy spring semester. I still have more stuff to do, but it's a lot less hectic after that I got done today, which of course followed previous stuff. Basically all the previous days. What is this? They made me think Wells of Lingflood. I don't know why that outfit made me think Wells of Lingflood. Actually can't tell. Is that a human? I think it is. It's not an elf, is it? No. No. Too short. Yeah, ranger. Raki, thank you for the $5 super chat. I do appreciate that. That helps support content moving forward and keeps the streams and the such going. Streams, videos, all that sort of stuff.
Hello there.
You know what I could do? No, they are slow. Okay. I have an idea. This is not just me wanting to be lazy, though. This is a real idea. We're going to go to Lynn here. And then we're going to do something else. Oh, that's for the cats and not me. Well, they'll have some cat treats for it. In fact, I can give them cat treats now. They like cat treats. You see this one's head poking up? Lexi was begging you all the way there, back quiet, sneaky again. But again, I do appreciate that, and now the cats do as well. She'll eventually find it, maybe. Piper doesn't know what to do because I always toss the treats for her so she can get some exercise and not steal all them from Lexi. It might be possible to... Oh, it's kind of a mess there. Hold up. Y'all don't mind a cat break, do you? Hopefully not. It should be brief. Here, I'm actually going to do this. Actually do that. Oh, I actually turned the camera off. That's okay. I was going to... you all can't hear me, but I was going to say that's probably going crazy. But if y'all can't even see it, then that's fine. That should be good enough. Maybe. That is quite terrible. Oh, I didn't even switch it. Wonder why the wire is not going as long as it does. There we go. Okay, I promise we're getting somewhere with this. That was all to show me tossing Piper a treat. Wow. Oh, Lexi got one and you can't even see. I don't have much of a better place to put that. Oh, she's not even on the camera. There we go. The couch, yeah, the couch is covered in orange cat hair. They wouldn't have it any other way. I think there are toys in the other room where we could play with them. Here, if you think the couch is covered in orange cat hair, this shows up even worse with that. Oh, don't need to see my bathroom. All right. Oh, we don't have cat cam back. There we go. Okay, I think we're back to LOTRO for now. It's probably, again, unless you all want to check out anything specific, I think I have covered just about everything that I want to for update 36, and then I can really... Oh, no, I forgot I had grand plans when I traveled over here. Okay, one more specific thing I want to do. Or at least test. Here, we'll do a test. I'm going to go to Pellar Year. And I just want to see how this works. Besides running into a wall. Does this work well? Turn floating names off. I think this works well enough. Okay. This will be the super lazy way for me to do a video that I want to do. But I think this will work. And yes, this tail is from that cat trying to... I don't know if she's hunting the horse or the Louis right now. Appears to be the horse. Oh, the cats are definitely a bigger draw than me. I think I would have 0 viewers and 0 subscribers if the cats weren't here. Yeah, I think besides my giant base cam and cat cam's okay. But besides me blocking a chunk of the view here, looks really nice. Hopefully the quests are fun. It looks like they definitely have potential. Of course, I don't really explore quests in the betas to, one, not spoil them, and two, not make me like tired of them by the time they come out live. I really don't know what to expect in terms of repeatability, if they intend for this to have some landscape endgame content, of course, besides just the quests that are at endgame zone. That will be interesting to explore, like if it will be, I feel like it's going to be worth coming here, say on my Runekeeper or other potentially high level 140-ish characters. If there will be any reason for them to come here, especially ones that maybe on... That's one of the things with areas that have been like this in LOTRO, not specifically King's Gondor, but end-game landscape content areas that have repeatable content usually require you to go through all of the quests to unlock that repeatable content, so it's really not great for alts. That could be a nice surprise if they somehow have it. It seems like they don't really have a means for doing account-wide unlocks, but that's one of the things that I think could really benefit LOTRO. For example, if I did a King's Gondor on my Warden, and that unlocks some sort of end-game repeatable landscape content, if that would give the same unlocks to, say, all my other characters on the account, so account-wide unlocks, I think that would be a great thing. But again, I have no idea if they plan to have that type of content here anyway. But I think on that note, again, last minute check if y'all want to see anything specific, and we have Lower Lebanon, Upper Lebanon, and Losterneck. I think Upper Lebanon is... Oh, there is actually one more thing. Okay, we'll do it. I keep forgetting, but
Hello there.
we got it. And it is... I recognize the name for Zahar. We'll check out this place and try to get to the other side. Love me an ace holder. Alright. I don't think it's that safe to jump into the river. And unfortunately, I got cat out of my way so I can't even see. This one would be tough. I don't know if that would give the view that I want even, but my milestone is off cooldown, so I can travel right back here, so we might as well try. Okay, that actually worked, and it kind of gives a view. Still, this pillar is blocking the view, but that gives a better view of the distant landscape. Let's see, sun set, that is heading south, so that won't give us a good view of like a sunset or a sunrise, but could still probably be a nice looking sunset from this general direction. But it's not like the sun will set or rise right in that valley. But I think the better view would be somehow getting to the other side. And I'm not immediately seeing a way to get to the other side. Well, there's definitely a way down. Seeing this cat bed on the camera makes me realize how terrible that looks, but it's just a bunch of cat fur. Well, you can get to the surface pretty safely, but it's a much less exciting view. That said, I might be able to get up here. This might not be too terrible after all to get to the other side. Maybe. I think the second... Oh, okay, cat. You don't need to scratch this screen. I don't mind them just like watching my characters move. I can't really help that. But if they scratch the screen, that is not great. Oh, the second, yeah, that's what I was saying. The second biggest boss in LOTRO after these two cats is navigating on the war steed. It is entertaining though. So Python Dad, you're getting your main to Mordor, through Mordor as in finished with Mordor and ready to head out to the other side on northern Mirkwood, or getting to Mordor. I think either way it could be exciting. I've oddly been having fun in Mordor on my Guardian. This is some bright... I could only assume it's like marble or something being that bright, but whatever it is, very bright. Alright, let's see if this side does have a better view. I anticipated that it would, but I do not believe that it does. That's where I need to go. Wait, isn't that where I just was? Huh. Okay, I don't see that I'm missing anything. There is a door here. I mean, unfortunately, there's no knock emote. They'd probably let me in if my character could learn to knock. Here. There we go. That sounds like a knock. Oh, close to finishing it. Taltharui quests. So one more of the zones. Hopefully you enjoyed Taltharui. That was... I don't know, like my third favorite zone, maybe? Yeah, I don't think I'll quite get the great view, but this is fun to attempt to navigate here. I think my one option is to... Wow, somehow didn't die. I'll head back up. If only LOTRO had flying mounts, then I could get the view that I am desiring right here. So it seems to be basically, if I go down there, that pillar is in the way. If I go over here, wait, why didn't I just go over here? Ah, this might work, but then that tree might be in the way. Because right now, these two trees are the current biggest annoyances towards this view. And after that, these two pillars and this little mini pillar are blocking the view. So maybe if I go on... Well, never mind. Anyway, it's possible that there is a better view, but I do have to save something for later. So on that note, I think it'll be a good point for me to wrap up this stream. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and me just messing around a little bit with the landscape difficulty on tier 9, whatever the max is, and the new 140 zone that's coming in update 36. No idea when this update is planned to be launched, but I'm anticipating early to mid-June. We'll see if that is the case or if it's actually going to launch earlier. Either way, the beta was here a lot earlier than expected, but I think that's a good thing because, again, to me, update 35 content at this point is running fairly dry. But yeah, even with that, I should have a lot of exciting content coming up, especially now that I will be a little bit less busy the next week or so. As far as update 36 goes, in particular what I explored here, thought a lot of it looked good. That's about par for the course. Doesn't mean it's bad or that it wasn't very great looking, but all the zones in LOTRO tend to look great. And this one lives up to that standard. Anyway, enough rambling. I hope you all did enjoy the stream. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more. And again, thanks to Meraki for the super chat. And thanks to all the channel members for supporting the content. And thanks for joining, chatting, and watching, everyone.